Get this stuff working. How's it going, guys? Welcome. Mess around with this. Oh, how are you guys doing? Cheers, banditos. I'll say it again in a few minutes when we get going. I apologize for the late start. I had to re-upload or re-update my Streamlabs, and it erased everything I had. So I had to remake my scenes. Don't even have an intro today. Was busy in the second half of the day, so I didn't even notice until just a little bit ago when I tried to sit down and start. So, yeehaw! Right? Gotta love streaming. Or all the technical issues that always happen, but I figured I'd do a little bit of a show, kind of a weekend review. Look back at today. I didn't do much today. I came on and did stuff early, and was like really annoyed with the way that everything was trading, so I left around here, which go figure, to help put the kids down, and then I think actually about here, and then this happened. I came back and I'm like, well, that sucks. Well, let's wait for a different setup, and we came back in and called this one in the VTF the entry, which was right here, and then our exit, was right here, was that the right one? Yeah, that was the right one. So we did this trade later in the day, and that was the last trade. I wanted to lock in with the win, and then I sat around and I didn't really like anything else. I think I might have talked through like a scalp in here or something, like how I would short it here. I think I did one over here, like entering up here, talking through the same thing I talked through on my Tuesday video, like, oh, you get kind of a range in, short it when it gets back to the top with a stop up here. I think I took the money just because of the type of day it was with the slow price action. I don't know if the price action was extremely slow today for you guys, or if it was just the next week's options that made it seem really, really weird. I started trading with common later, and I found that to be a little bit easier. Maybe that's something I'll start doing on Fridays, but who knows. One of those days. It was fine as far as the P&L goes, but it just felt slow and grindy really hard, and it felt like moves really weren't paying, and unless you kind of let them play out. So one of those days, and I want to, unless there's any specific questions, I want to talk really quick about identifying that early, kind of seeing what type of day it is. So I think we kind of realized fairly early that it was going to be a fairly choppy, fairly kind of annoying day. Wasn't a big fan of the way things were moving. And I think that we did a pretty decent job of allowing ourselves to not get tore up, or at least I hope people did. Because every other day this week, when we've had moves, let's say early in Tesla. Now this was a massive gap down because of the jobs numbers and stuff. So we weren't expecting much. So we identified early, like, hey, we're not expecting much to happen. I don't think we're going to get really good moves. We'll see. It sells off. I said I thought Tesla was going down to $25, and I was hoping it would hit it early. So I think we called a couple of shorts out early, or even a bounce. But because we didn't get much retracement, and it just grinded lower, it made the price action almost impossible to get paid in this range on options, next week's options, just the way that they were moving. Wasn't impossible, it was just more difficult. In the past, earlier this week, a move like this, like catching like this short or something, was paying like a point to 2 points, like pretty quick this week. I had a pretty decent week leading up into today. And then as soon as kind of this started happening, and we got chopped around a little bit, and the price action was slow, and I was like, dang, these are just not paying. I kind of made a conscious decision, like, I'm just not going to do it. Like, I don't have to trade. you know what, I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm going to size down. I'm going to take a minimal size. I'm not going to risk my week. I'm not going to risk my mental like state on action that is not conducive to what I feel like I can do. So there are some days when I come in to the market, and you guys, if you feel this way too, you can leave a comment. And what up, Con? Cheers, brother. I feel like you guys probably feel this way too sometimes. Like some days I'm in a mental mindset of trading a certain way. So I'll come in and I hit it early. I'm getting paid. I don't mind sitting around and waiting on a move to pay me. I'll sit there all day, and maybe I was just spoiled this week because of how well things moved, you know, and I'll be just like, hey, I'm good. I don't care. It's like, hey, it's whatever. Um, and I'll wait for moves to take place. I'll get paid. Today, mentally, for whatever reason, I was not in the mindset of, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to let this happen and let this play out, and it's going to hit target. Like I was in, for whatever reason, I don't even think it was good. Obviously, if I was in a better mindset today, I think I would have traded a lot better. But I think not trading was fine too. I don't think that was wrong. But putting myself in the right mindset to be successful today was the mindset for me. The way I felt was just not doing much. It's like the move already happened pre-market. If we get a good retracement and a bounce at the open, then it'll be a much easier short. If we just grind down, it's going to be choppy. It's going to be hard to play for a while until we get direction. We got direction. There were some plays and probably some good ways to make money. Yeah, it just kept going, but it didn't go fast enough, you know? It was a nice slow, just kind of grind lower, everything selling. I was like, you knew where it was going. It was hard to get a point, and Tesla just rode the 8 train down. And there were some other names too that were tradable, and I think that there were trades in. But I think I got too tunnel vision to Tesla in this range, and because I had got too kind of tunnel visioned, I wasn't trading Amazon, I wasn't trading Meta, I wasn't trading some of the other names. I mean, Amazon doesn't look that much. It looks good early, so early Amazon would have been the trade. But once you're down here, it is riding that 2-minute 21 down. But you do have to sit there and let it flag for a little bit. Wait for the breakdown. Let's see what it does when it triggers. So you hit the 21. There's your trigger. Failed back into the 21. Trigger. You know, if you were willing to wait on it, there were trades today. I wasn't willing to wait on it, so I missed out. And I think that's okay. We're in the United States. So if I would have been willing to wait, I could have gotten paid, but I wasn't willing to wait. And do you know, yeah, I agree, AJ, it really was. I didn't, like, because I missed a lot of the down move because I was putting the kids to bed, and then I got lunch. I think I was doing something. I was playing with them before bed, and then put them down, and then missed a lot of the down move. Because I missed some of that, and I wasn't in the right mindset, I think as a trader, it's important to recognize that and not get FOMO or get mad. I think that was one of the big keys for me today, was just to be like, you know what? This day is not conducive to the way I feel like trading today. You know what? The trades aren't happening how I want them. Maybe I'm off. Maybe the market isn't as good. Yeah, we just gapped down and we kept going. That's not what I wanted to happen. I missed some of the move that I wanted. What can I do? How am I going to do? What am I going to sit down here and... What's up, brother? I say, how do you like it now that you've set up the platform and that you're using it? It's a pretty solid platform for the most part. I had some issues with Fidelity today at the open. It kind of did me dirty. Let's see what some of the other names did. Yeah, Meta actually did what we wanted it to. I wanted Tesla to do this. So I should have seen that Meta filled the gap. I bet Meta filled that gap. Look at that gap. Meta filled that gap and hit, triggered short. What a beautiful play. Trend lines are powerful. And I was fine with that. And that was kind of my thought for this week. I was like, you know what? It was a great week. You don't have to do it all today. You're off today. Like, you're mentally not trading right. You're not in the right mindset for this. You're going to blow out if you trade. You're going to hyper scalp too much. You're not going to trade right. You either need to be very disciplined and take the right trade, or you need to step away. And that's kind of what I decided to do. I was like, you know what? I'm going to step away. I'm just going to miss some. I'm going to come back. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to smack the crap out of something. And then when I came back and I sat down, I called this one out in the VTF, not here. I should have typed it in here too, or hopped on the mic, but I just sat down and I saw, let me move this over, saw this happening. This is your basic kind of, your bottoming pattern. You came down, put in a higher pivot low, so you fit from the higher pivot low to here. If it respects the 21, when it comes back in, you long it with your target being the 127. And then after it hit the 127, I said you're probably going to test S3, and then I'd reverse. Then here I said, if you're going to go higher, there's your line. If not, then this. So I didn't mess with that. But that was the trade, and that was the trade. So it was like sitting there, and you're like, you know what? You're not set up to take this. You missed it because I went away and came back. So you know what you got to do? You just need to sit down and make a trade. So I sat down, I waited, caught a good winner there. I was like, you know what? That's good. Like, I don't care that I didn't have the biggest day of the week. I didn't have whatever. I made a good trade. I'm happy with the success. I didn't even like the way this traded as choppy as it was. And I was just like, I'm good. And you have to know what your strength is as a trader. You really do. You have to come in and be honest with yourself about how you feel, how you're trading that day. Did you sleep? How have you been working out? How have you been sleeping? What are things that are affecting you on the outside? Like, are those other stuff that's putting external pressures on you? For whatever reason, do you feel the external pressures this day when you don't other days? And do you need to just practice self-control and take a step away from the market and be like, you know what? I'm just going to goof around and watch YouTube videos and funny videos and, send memes to people and other fun stuff. Like, what am I going to do? And yeah, Con, I think that's why Meta traded so well early, was because it actually did what we wanted it to, and we didn't look at it. I expected a retracement in more names, and Meta is the only one that actually gave me what I wanted, but I wasn't watching it because I'd been paid so well in Tesla this week. But, you have this. You actually have a good retracement there in Meta. And that would have been the short into the 8. Actually, this would have been your lower pivot high. So generally, I would ignore this. Wait for your green candle, green candle up into the 8, lower pivot like that. Shooting star into the 8, buy the breakdown, and then you have your target. So that would have been a good play. I didn't take it. I think I might have looked at it, and for whatever reason, I chose Tesla. I'm not mad that I chose Tesla, but it's one of those you should have known. It's like if Tesla pays you, you're just going to get paid, And so sometimes I focus on that, but this one actually set up to do what I wanted to. It actually retraced and it actually sold off. This is what Tesla should have done in my mind. This is what I wanted to see in my mind, Meta's chart in Tesla. But instead of just trading the chart in front of me, what did I do? I traded Tesla, and it did not do what I wanted, and so I didn't make bank in it. And it just, that's just how it goes someday. It's something I need to address with myself, and then you back up into the 21. Like, look at this, beautiful. Like, if this was Tesla's chart, I would have had the biggest day of the week. It would have been like, oh, we retraced. Oh, I shorted the crap out of that near the 8. Oh, it came back down, and oh, it hit the 21 again, and I shorted it off the 21 in VWAP, and like that would have been a good day. It wasn't that, and I wanted that. So, good job, B Cart. Like, it's Yeah, and I'm not mad. Not mad about what I did. Not about mad about how my week was. You know, if you look overall at what's happening in the market, we're doing some damage. That's for sure. And while we did put a little bit hammer here, I wouldn't be surprised to see an inside, a little bit of a grind up for a day or two going into next week. Maybe not. Maybe not. For a move down. I don't know this. I have absolutely no idea. Nothing I say should ever be taken as trading advice or anything like that. I would not be surprised to, over time, see us get back down and test COVID lows. At least 180. But I would not be surprised to see us get back down here eventually. I'm not saying we go right now. Maybe we test the 21 again. You know, you've got some support at 61, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see us getting back down to these 2020 COVID low levels. Especially 235. That's like pre-COVID. You've got to retest that at least, right? So I still think there's plenty of good moves to be had. There's going to be plenty of setups in the future. Plenty of things to take. I don't have to catch everyone. If I'm having an off day or just a day when I don't feel, like the market's doing what I want it to, if you can do that and you can identify that, yeah, if you can avoid the chop Bronx and you can know when you have an edge in the market, then you'll be okay. I think the worst thing sometimes is trying to create an edge when it's not there, or trade like you have an edge when you don't. That's when I get hurt. That's when I get back my days. That's when I get back my stuff. It's not identifying the trades I'm taking things just because I want to make a trade or because I'm doing something. It's like, oh, I like this or I like this, so I'm just going to take this trade. Instead of being really intelligent with the trades I'm taking and understanding what I'm taking, if I'm just jumping in and out of stuff that's not trending or it's chopping, like, Tesla, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback this, which is not what I'm trying to do. But basically, from this point in in a trade review on the day, you failed to break higher and you came back up, anywhere in here, there should be no expectation of it going lower until it proves it's going to. You failed to go lower and you caught a bid and then you failed to push lower. You're going to wedge out. So generally at this point, at least in my opinion, that's a different line. You're going to need to come back up into a moving average, or to me, I'll look for the top of the last, the bottom of the zone or something like that. So you're going to come back up in that general direction before you go. You're going to bear flag, and I'm usually looking for a 21 test at this point, or a higher moving average test. This is a 2-minute chart, or coming in near the this line. And this line didn't exactly hit, but you hammer out here, and then you go lower, retest the 21 after you break, and then you just ride the 8 down. It's easy to look at in hindsight when you're just looking at that kind of stuff, but I do this after the fact, not to Monday morning quarterback it, but when I talk through this out loud at the end of the day. Next time I sit down to do a trade, or I'm looking for a trade, or I'm in something like this next week, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? What am I looking for? Okay, so this is what happened. It's choppy. This is really annoying. We're overextended. All right, what could happen? Well, we're up. We hit the 21. We broke down. We're down at the bottom of the range. We come back up and tested the 21. I think we're going to go lower. We're putting in lower highs. I'm going to take this here. I'm going to set a little bit higher stop, and I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to let this move play out, and I'm going to see what happens. So I'll talk myself through things like this, not to try to Monday morning quarterback it, but to describe to myself what's happening. So when I come back the next day, and let's say it's a hard day or it's a whatever type of day, I can talk while I'm talking through it live, or while I'm talking through it to myself before I take a trade, or as I'm in a trade, I can be like, this trade is still working. Geronimo likes to say, and I've heard him say, it's like, the trade hasn't failed yet. So when we were sitting in here looking at Tesla, when I called this out today, this long, it's very easy to get shaken out, like on this candle. When it almost hit your target, man, I was so close. And then you're down here, and guess what? You're break even or losing on the trade right here. If you didn't take profits here, we always know this is your first take profit. Even then, like, let's say I traded this and I just took a third off here. But if you miss that and you came all the way back down here, you're close to break even on your options, more than likely, realistically. It's hard to hold that because depending on your size, you could have been 2 or 3 grand up on the rest of your contracts. And instead now you're break even. And if you're having a rough day or a flat day, that can be mentally whatever, tough. So I was sitting there, I was just like, the trade has not failed. The trade has not failed. We're holding the 21. This is my stop. We're holding the 21. I'm going to stay in this trade. You took some profit, give it room, and let it work. And it does this. It goes back up. It could trick you out again. You're like, man, it's coming back down. I'm just going to get out. Nope. Hasn't hit target yet. And it's difficult to do that. You do have to trust you do have to trust what you're looking for and trust your lines. Trust the name you're trading and take profit along the way. Nothing wrong with back up here taking some more profit off or something. But talking through that, telling myself the trade is still on. Is it doing what it's supposed to be doing? Yes or no? What's happening right now? Not the FOMO of looking in and being like, dang, oh, I didn't catch it here. Oh, I didn't hit here. Oh, I missed it here. Oh, I missed it here. And then you're down here and you're like, okay, it's going to break down now. Or, okay, now I'm going to buy it and it's going to break down. Like, I don't like to wait that long until I'm looking through something like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I like to try to talk through, even during the day, and sometimes that's why I ramble when I'm talking on the mic or whatever, like actively what's going on. Because I'm trying to say something in my mind that is reinforcing what I'm seeing. And by verbalizing it, either on the mic or to myself, just looking through it, I'm seeing something and saying something that is allowing me to identify and take a trade and kind of be detached, as opposed to being sucked into the emotion of, the trade I'm missing, what I could be if I would have held on to these puts up here or what it was. It's just like, this is what's happening. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the cues and where they're at. And maybe my technical analyst is wrong and I need to reevaluate that. Maybe I'm picking the wrong name. I need to take my time and evaluate what's happening. Doing it vocally helps me. Doing it at the end of the day helps me. Because if I talk through it here and I look at it here and I kind of review my charts at the end of the day and I come back and I look at some of the stuff I missed and some of the stuff I got right and wrong, and then I come back the next day, I'm doing the same thing in the middle of the day when I'm trading, it can help me be like, well, you did this before. Listen, just wait for this to happen. Or you did that wrong. Don't do that. Or, hey, maybe we need to be taking profits to allow ourselves to hold the trade to target. Maybe instead of taking, 1/3, you need to take a half off or 3/4 off and just hold that 25%. Like what did you do wrong to make yourself miss or not miss this move? You taking too much size. You not giving it enough space. You giving it too much space. And I talked myself through that kind of stuff to identify where I was at. And it helped me today for sure. Now I was just like, I'm not trading this. It's just stupid. This price action is dumb. And I started talking like Forrest Gump, And that's how that picture ended up in Discord. That they posted there. So those are just some thoughts on the day, on some psychology that I identified in myself, that I wasn't happy with the market, or maybe happy with myself and how I was trading, or maybe happy with my results. And I let the day go. I was just like, it ain't today. I'll look for a trade later and I'll take one, but it ain't for today. And there's no intro today, guys, and all that kind of stuff, because I think I said earlier my Streamlabs got messed up when it got redone, and I don't have any of my old scenes in it, so I have to like re-put in my scenes and all that kind of stuff. But if you would like to leave a like and all that kind of fun stuff. I would appreciate it if you do want to share the content with other people, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of stuff. It does help. It does help people see the content. It does help people kind of get involved with the channel. You can also leave comments after. If you have any questions or you have different things you'd like to see from me, please let me know, and I'd be glad to do videos on it. Such different days this week. I'm looking forward to next week. Could be a choppy first half of the week. I don't know. I don't really see any particular reason for people to buy the market. Maybe we get some more volatile down moves in Tesla and some of these other names, and we test some lows. You're about, your next pivot low in Tesla is 216.16. Once we test that, I mean, you're so extended off of these moving averages, but you've got 207 area where we're coming into. There's a lot of support down here around 207. So we'll see if we can get there in the next week or two. You're definitely within range. A lot of red days. Yeah, interesting. So, anything specific that you guys have thoughts or questions or anything else on? I thought today was difficult unless you happen to be like a larger time frame trader. I think feeling bullish, you took some putts and caught, some good moves on this 8 train down. I thought there was some other good opportunities if you were patient and waiting for them. I just wasn't that today, and I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. Just being like, you know what? I wasn't my sharpest today when it comes to what I wanted to happen. Market didn't do what I wanted to do, and it's very healthy as a trader to just recognize when you're off and not risk capital and come back the next day, the next week being like, you know what, I feel good today and I didn't waste whatever. I'm not toxic into the weekend, and I'm good to go Monday to kind of get back at it. I can enjoy the time over the weekend. I tell you, I'm going to have to get into futures trading if these stupid future traders keep screwing us up in the morning, these massive gap downs. I'm just going to have to start trading the news pre-market, putting in more work, especially when the market's not doing what I want it to. If you can't beat them, join them, right? I guess. I should throw up a Fab 4 box here. It's a crazy big box going into next week. We'll see where we're at. I think most of these are going to look the same from what I looked at. Most of these are going to be in the same kind of similar area. So yeah, I'll hit up CT. I'm thinking about what's up this upcoming week, but I want to see if he wants to do a show maybe midweek, and I'll plan it to where my wife's good with it, and I'll do one earlier in the week, and maybe do a guest one with him. Our problem is just his time and mine hasn't really worked lately, sadly. I know we both like to do them and do the pre-shows. What do you guys think about, maybe I should ask this over in Discord, but what do you guys think about me doing the masterclass live so people can come out and ask questions? And maybe you can help me make sure I don't miss stuff, and then in the future I'll finish editing one together that's a more kind of clean cut video. One that's, whatever, that's like production, but we can just do a live, maybe 45-minute-ish kind of masterclass to just let people know, just be like, hey, this is what I do. This is how we use options. People can look at the comments. You guys can throw, comments and different stuff in, and it'll allow us to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because some of you guys are newer and some guys have been doing this for a long time. Some of you have taught other people. And so it would be, it's always good to have different perspective and stuff on things that people don't realize. or things that, you know, I forget. Maybe I'll see if CT wants to join and we can actually do one that's that's live. Like I'll have him on it. Because, you know, if I do something live, I'm going to forget it. Like I've been doing the script for the one I've got. I've been doing like a script and just cutting up some videos and doing some different things. But I feel like it would be maybe better to do one live that's just me talking. That I have my notes so I kind of understand where I'm going with it. And the different, like, hey, I need to make sure I cover this. I need to make sure I cover this. I need to make sure I cover this. And then I just work through it. I haven't traded some of these names in a while. I should probably clean some of them off my list. AMD, holy. Why have I not been looking at AMD? What does this thing look like on the daily? You talk about a name that's going down to COVID, those you're on your way to 49 bucks real fast right here in AMD. Dang. Talk about a name that's going to get back to COVID levels. I feel bad for the people that own this up here. Like, it's coming back, it's coming back, it's coming back. I mean, eventually it will come back. Everything maybe comes back, but, you know, holy, you know, dang. Imagine AMD cutting in half again. Stock price taking that much of a beating. Buy the dip, right? What up, 4C? Cheers. That's wild. It's how much of this market, people's retirements, all these different things, just been going straight down. Oh, I didn't short that there. Good old Twitter. I'll have to do a little bit of looking over the weekend to see what I'm... There's not much. Is NVIDIA as bad as AMD? No. I mean, 2020, not really. I mean, it didn't go up as much. You're already down. I mean, you're looking at 2020 down here. You're looking at like 45 bucks if that retests. Yeah, I actually posted it in Discord if you want to see Kelly's trade. It's in Discord in the charts room. Anytime I see one of his things, including if I do a trade, I should probably draw it and stuff. It's actually over in Discord, so I have it here. I don't have my screen set up to where you can see it, to where I can share it. But I do have it, how he drew his fib. Let me see if I can add. Let's see if I can add a thing to my list. Nah, I can't do that, I don't think. Media file, add source. Let's see if it does it here. Let's see how this is. I'm going to try to add this source. We're going to go live, trying to play with Streamlabs at this exact moment. Pictures. I think this is the wrong one. This doesn't do pictures. Oh, that's because it was audio. I had to mess around with it. Yeah, I do have Kelly's just from that picture. What do you mean when he added to the positions? I mean, I assume when it hit the 21 for the third leg. $10.26. 2 minute. And my assumption on his stuff would be, I don't know, 1026 here. Yeah, I mean, I would assume he added here. This would have been an entry if I was doing a. I actually might have even taken. Why didn't I take this? Did I take this short? Why did I not take this short? If I didn't, I was wrong. Well, I know I might have. I might have just scalped it instead of like swinging it, which would have been stupid, which is probably what I did. That's what I mean. I was off today. Look at that. Even if you fib this, the power of a fib line, I was not detached enough this morning. Definitely not detached enough. Because look at this. Beautiful. Right up into the 21 and target. I know it's not exactly how he draws his, but that's your second leg, if you would. So that's crazy. If you do this, obviously they all hit. But man, I missed that. That was one of those not detached enough, because that's a beautiful, like if you're just zooming out and you just see this, my face is in the way. Like if you're just looking at a chart early in the morning and you see something like this, like, oh, we gapped down, but we went down, came back up into the 21, easy fib draw, easy third leg. I don't know how I didn't take this one, how I didn't see it. I definitely was not in a good headspace today to trade. Like I slept good last night. I had a good day. I don't know. It just wasn't there, because I usually see this. I usually spot this and take it and hold it to target. Huh. That's a weird one. I don't know how I didn't spot that one. Yeah, that's strange. But I do see Kelly's Kelly's drawing. It is in Discord if you guys want to check it out. It's under the charts tab if you want to see his thing from today. So yeah, I don't know why I did. Maybe it was just because I wasn't green as quick as I had been all week on some of my stuff. I thought it was a really difficult day, even though looking back at it, there were trades I got. And what that tells me is I need to be more detached in my trading, and I need to be able to sit back and identify what's happening a little bit better. And I just didn't do that. I've been doing that all week. I didn't do it today. Like I failed to do it today when the opportunity was there. There's your trade in Tesla. It's beautiful, perfect fib trade, single leg. You got your one leg down, your second clear leg in, bounces up right into the 21. Beautiful short, 127 target hits. It's ideal. I couldn't ask for anything better than that on a chart. That doesn't even, there's no shakeout hammer after the fact. You have just a double top reversal, easy trade right there. And definitely didn't take it to target and didn't take the move. So there's no, like, as opposed to the other one earlier that shuck you out, that just went straight to target. So what that tells me is I definitely was not in the good headspace to take the trades. It's probably frustrated because my earlier trades didn't pay like they did earlier, or I was thrown off or something. I don't know what was off, but something was different today. And I don't necessarily need to know what it is. It's just when that feeling's there and I'm off, I need to identify that and make sure that I respect that in the future, because I missed trades that were just exactly what I wanted, the exact trades I look for on a day-to-day basis, and I didn't let myself do it. I did later. I missed this move because of the kids, the later in the day move. There wasn't anything wrong today. Like I wasn't mad. I wasn't anything. I just it's like when I started going, I'm like I think I was just annoyed with the price action and the slowness and choppiness of it early, even though I knew it was going to be that way. I don't know. I generally have no idea. I didn't really have any kid stuff. The kids were happy earlier. We played outside. We did good. Like, yeah, they were good. No, I did. Yeah. No, that was it. Wait. My wife called. That was it. she called me to bring the kids downstairs. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Yep. That was why I missed the trade. Let's see what time she called me. What time did she call me? Maybe I wasn't as bad. Let's see. As I thought I was. Let's see. What time did she call me today? 10:37. What happened at 10:37? No, that was later. That wasn't her. So that was after this. So that was here. Or did she call me at a different time? Yeah, it was earlier when she called me. So it wasn't that. I don't know then. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, it doesn't really matter why, but the fact is I think you guys probably know it too. If you're having a difficult day or you're off, I think you know it and you just try to force your way through it and like manhandle the market. And the market's going to humble you when you do that. And so I think not doing that to me was key today, and I'm glad I didn't. Because obviously I was missing setups that I generally would take and not trading them how I should. Not taking the ones I needed to take, letting the trades work, all this other stuff. Yeah, and while it's annoying, in a sense, I'm happy that I did what I did. And I don't think it really matters why I was off. Just the fact that you can identify that if you're a trader, and when you feel that, it's okay not to trade and it's okay to take it off. And who cares if you miss a move? Like, live to come back the next day as opposed to risking. Because, man, the level, like the ability to go toxic on a day when the market's not doing what you want, or you're not, more important, you're not doing what you need to do to trade the market well, you're just better off to go do something else. Like, you would be better off to go golfing or, go do chores around the house or whatever else it is. Like, don't sit here and force things when you're like, you know what, I just don't have it today. I'm not seeing things right. And I definitely think I wasn't seeing things clearly until I came back in the afternoon scalp. But like, yeah, that definitely wasn't it. I wasn't detached enough today for some reason. So enough talking through that. But that's just some thoughts on a Friday fireside, thinking back, because every other day I was pretty sharp. So that was a good week. I thought the market, I don't know. I hope you guys had good weeks. A good start to the quarter, right? Hope it just wasn't me that you guys had a good start to the quarter. I thought we had some good call outs in the room. I thought it's good to have everybody back. It's good to have Mitchell back. Peacock, who over on his YouTube channel, he posted a video yesterday and on Twitter now. So you can go give him a holler and a follow. He's back, and or he's not back, but he's on. Added him to the voice chat so he can come on sometimes, especially when other people are out. But hearing from Rose and CT and Mitchell again, it's good to have guys back in the Discord chatting. So I think it adds a lot to the character of the room. We're not just listening to yours truly all day. And I'm a bandit, so I don't even trade all day. My thoughts y'all didn't ask this, but it'd be interesting to see how Tesla does. Watch us gap all the way up to like 30. More than likely, we'll probably gap up to like $26, right at the top of this range, right where the 2-minute 200's at. And we'll bust out and go all the way up to 228 and then roll over. Back in here and chop around, maybe go higher. I don't know. Who knows? Or we just go straight down. Yeah, I don't know if hard to take trades was the right thing, or expecting a reversal, or like there was something that was off 4C, and it was almost like I was expecting something maybe that didn't happen, or I was expecting it to move in a way that it didn't, and next week's options weren't really paying me the way I wanted. Um, the gap down and grind was definitely part of it. And if you look at what the triple Qs were doing early, you know, they were sitting still for, that's almost 15 minutes. That's 12 minutes of just sitting still. So like 15 minutes in, you haven't taken a trade, or you've taken two or three and we're just chopping. We finally break down, and then we chop around for another, couple hours, or another hour of just going sideways before we start trending again. So it just wasn't easy. And I think the gap down without a proper retracement made it more difficult. To me, we would have been, it would have been easier with the pop. It would have given me more conviction. Whenever there's a gap down this big, and maybe it was just I should have just traded it instead of thinking about it, but I didn't. And without the retracement, I was like, we could pop at any point. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not trading how I like it to trade. The options aren't giving me the fills I want, and I'm not getting the paid on the times when I'm right like I want to. So I think it was just a combination of frustration about those things, and then holding it, because if you got in and you were right, you had to be right through the chop. So you were right, you were green. And on a day when you're not making a lot of money early, then you have to hold through being red. And if you're not up a lot or you're red, you don't want to hold through being red, even if the trade is okay, but it's just choppy. Like, it could go against me and I could have a really red day, and today's not the day I can come back from it, so I don't know what to do. And then you get rid of your trade, and the trade goes in your favor, and then you become more toxic. And it's like a vicious cycle. And then instead of having an OODA loop, an OODA loop is so important. Instead of having an OODA loop of like, well, let's see what's happening. It's like, oh, to go back to everyone's favorite name. It's like, oh, we're, okay, so we have one leg down, and it's a choppy leg, but we put in another leg. We're retracing to the 21. Let's short off the 21 with the fib target down here. Let's look at this. All right, where are we at? We clearly went down, or back up into, that's only 61% retracement. Okay, so, we triggered, and all right, so let's see if the move goes lower. Here's our target. And, instead of being detached and having a good OODA loop of, this is what's happening. Like, there were days it was like my OODA loop was fire this week. Sometimes it was just like this is what's happening. I'm doing this, bam, money. This is what, bam, money. Today it was like, this is what's happening. It's like, it was just, it was weird price action for me. And so I think then my OODA loop became more about like, what the heck sometimes, and I had something else come into my decision-making process that was not the clear, like, this is the trade, here we're at, here's target, stuff like that. And so for me, those other things became part of my decision-making process. I might be like, well, I'm just not going to trade, and this is annoying, and I don't like this. Became more a part of my decision process than like, okay, step back, zoom out, detach from trading, look at what's happening, gap downward, and then just identifying the trade and taking it. So instead of doing that, I'm so zoomed in on the issue and be like, what in the world? It's like I've been fire all week as far as like to my, like, how I've been trading, when I've been green, the money. It's like, you've just been hitting it, and now you're here, and it's like, this is hard. And so, like, getting too zoomed in as opposed to really detached and just letting the trades and finding the trades, and, well, this is the setup, and I'm going to take the setup and I'm going to let it work. All right, we're working, like I did later when I came back and called the other trade in Tesla. Like, I was detached then. I'd been away for about 2 hours. I sat down. I was like, okay, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. And I decided, I'm like, I'm waiting for this trade. This is the only trade I'm looking for today. I'm waiting for this specific trade to take place because it will happen. When it happens, I'm going long, and I'm holding it to target. That was what I said I was going to do. And I took the trade, called it out, hit the trade. I was done, And what I did then is what I've been doing all week. But I didn't do it in the morning, and it didn't cost me technically, but it cost me like I guess, potential. And mentally, it cost me because I was kind of pissed off. Not pissed off isn't the right word. Let's just be more just like, what in the world? It's like you want to go into the weekend not toxic, but also like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I just went into the weekend. I was like, for crying out loud, this is like, I have a headache. It's like, this is annoying type thing. Like, it was a different kind of frustration. I don't know why it got to me today, but it did, and it was fine. No, it's just part of the game. Part of the game that is trading. So, yeah. Well, guys, I hope you guys have a good weekend. If you don't have any questions or anything, but you can always hit me up on Discord. I'll be back. Be back next week. We'll be out at Monday. I'll be out at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll get back at it next week, and we'll continue to do what we do. We'll trade intelligently. We'll come in Monday. We'll identify what's happening pre-market, 9 p.m. on the show, and then from there or 9 a.m. Sorry, we'll make some smart trades. We'll put some good stuff together, and we'll just slowly start chipping away and keeping our psychology strong, identifying trades, taking money out of the market, and then boop, walking away and living our lives. If you haven't liked the video, please throw a like up if you'd like to. Share, comment, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff after the fact. Yeah, brother. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Enjoy the time off. Relax. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Watch some football. College football, man. Watch some football. Whatever else you do for fun. Enjoy that time. Have a good one. Relax. No matter what happened this week, it's done. It's in the past. All you can do is start next week and make intelligent trades. Have a great weekend, bandits.